What's going on, guys? Niko here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make melodies from existing chords like ILLENIUM, and there's 3 examples we're going to be going through. I'll play one quickly for you before we jump into the lesson so you can hear it. And that's from his song Lost. So what ILLENIUM is actually doing is he's taking a chord and he's arpeggiating it with a certain rhythmic pattern. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this in this video. So make sure you watch the entire thing, and I promise you will walk away a better songwriter. So with that being said, let's get started. Quick announcement before we get started. I'm giving away a free piano lesson, so if you want to work with me one-on-one, comment down below piano mastery, and every Friday I select one winner from the comment section. Additionally, if you are a music producer in search for new MIDI packs, check down below. I'm giving away a free MIDI pack with all the ILLENIUM chord progressions in it, so check that out if you're a music producer. And with that being said, let's get started making melodies from chords. All right, so the first example we're going to be going over is from the song Lost, and it sounds like this. So ILLENIUM's taking this chord progression and he's making a melody out of these chords. So here we go. So the first example I'm going to show you guys how ILLENIUM is making melodies out of chords is this one right here from Lost, and it sounds like this. All right, so let me put that all into the key of C so that we transpose it all, and it should sound like this. Here we go. So the first thing we have to note is the chord progression that's going on. And for all 3 of these examples, it's the exact same chord. It's what I probably would call the ILLENIUM chord progression. It's an A minor, F, C, and G. So the 6 chord, the 4 chord, the 1 chord, and the 5 chord in the key of C major for all you music theory people out there. All right, so what's going on here? So if we look at the first chord, all right, so we can think of this chord right here. This is the arpeggiation that's going on. Whoops, So if we just look right here at this, my hand, we have an A, a C, and a G. So what would complete this chord right here? This is an A minor 7th chord. So what ILLENIUM does is like, all right, I'm gonna get rid of the, of the finger right here and just arpeggiate in some way the A, C, and the G. So he comes up with, that's it. So he just plays around, maybe does a little bit of arpeggiation, maybe he draws a couple notes in from this, and then is like, all right, well, comes up with some rhythmic pattern, right? And then this repeats again though, right here. Now, why can this sound good? Well, what ILLENIUM now has, these notes are part of what I call a cluster chord. So if you want to make an F cluster chord, this is how you do it. You go to the chord strategies and the piano cheat codes PDF, completely free down below, and you go, okay, I count 1 semitone to the right and up. I count 1 semitone or 1 note up and to the right. And then I do it one more time. I count 1, 2 and go here. So I use the 1, 1, 2 strategy to figure this out. Now, all you need to do at this point is do a little bit of octave jumping and you're going to come up with something catchy. So you take the G, jump it up an octave. What do we have? So it works for both the A minor and then the F. And the reason why this is so emotional is it's because it's not the just basic block traditional chord that a lot of you guys are using. What ILLENIUM is doing is like, all right, I'm going to mess around with the 7th chord, then I'm going to mess around with the cluster chord, right? And the cluster chord voicings is something that ILLENIUM does all the time, and that's how he makes his music good, right? So that's what he does next. And then from there, we get into, the C chord. If you look at a C cluster chord, okay, so I have the C cluster chord here, so what can I make out of it? Well, I have these 3 notes right here that I could just play around with my fingers and hopefully come up with something, right? And a lot of times when you do that and you see, okay, I'm using, you know, the melody starter 1, 2, and 3, so I'm using these 3 notes, I'm gonna mess around a little bit. Oh, I go down there, that sounds pretty good. I like that, that builds some nice tension to it. And where does this G come into play? When we strike the G major chord. And then we go. So if we recap this chord progression, let's start from the top, just because I feel like I'm maybe going a little bit fast for you guys. What we have right here is a 7th chord being arpeggiated, and we just got rid of the ring finger, so we're not playing that E. Right? And then this same thing up here is an arpeggiation of an F cluster chord. And by the way, 7th chords are created using those chord strategies I talked about in the Piano Cheat Codes PDF. It's in the description, completely free. And the way you make a 7th chord is you just use the 2-3-2 strategy. So that's the way I created that 7th minor chord. And then again, this arpeggiation, it sounds good with the F. Now, ILLENIUM probably could have kept this one. Let's see how it sounds with the C. Yeah, it doesn't sound that great. Yeah, right, so at this point, he did this arpeggiation twice, and then he's like, all right, I want to change it up a little bit. So then what he did was, from this open, you know, this more of an open chord, he closed it down to these 4 notes right here. So. Pretty simple when you just look at it and break it down. Obviously, it takes some rhythm, messing around with the rhythm a little bit to come up with this progression, but as you can see, if we're doing this by ourselves, guys, we can be like, all right, well, I want to make something unique, some unique arpeggiation. What do I do? Well, what ILLENIUM's showing us is that we can take a cluster chord, spread it out, and then just arpeggiate a little bit, right? So I want to take this A minor cluster chord, and I'll jump the B up, or I'll jump the C, go down here. I'll jump the B in, the C up an octave, so. I'll jump the B up an octave too, so I'll play it up here. See what I did? I almost just I played that and then I derived just a completely different sounding arpeggiation, but it was really just a cluster chord that I octave jumped a couple of notes. Or see, we have a new song right then and there. All right, so the next one we're gonna go into is from the song All Together, and it sounds like this, and I'll play it in the key of C. So he goes. So he's using the law of 3 here to create a melody. So he's using 3 different melody starters to make this melody. If you don't know what melody starter is, it's just a series of notes that you start playing to get some idea generation. Now, the first melody, we'll break it down to the 4 parts of this chord progression. It sounds like this. So if we look at an A minor cluster chord, which uses the 1-0-3 strategy, count 1, 0, in between, 1, 2, 3. What he's doing is he's jumping up the B and the C, and he's just playing down. And this is the 1-7-3 melody starter. So if you ever want to make a song, you start off with this. Right? And then what happens next? We play an F major chord, and it goes. All right, so what is this A, G, and C? Well, if we find an F cluster chord, jump the G up an octave, jump the A up an octave, right? So here we have this. This is why these songs are so emotional, guys. He's using the cluster chords, and I've talked about this at length. All right, then from there, what we have is we have a C major chord with an F, E, F. Now, I get the E, but where does the F tie in? Well, if we think about our sus chords, what's a C sus 4? So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 notes, and then the next note is going to be our fourth, and then we go count 1. We use the 4-1 strategy up here. Now, sometimes these cluster chords sound good if you add in the major or minor third, and since we're playing with all white keys, we know that the chord C is going to be a major chord. So if we play it up here, it'll sound a little bit better. So again, if you're ILLENIUM, you can just be like, all right, I want to use these two. So, and then the next 3 notes in this melody that he writes, what's a G sus 2? It's using the 1-4 strategy, so here we go, I'll play the whole thing. I improvised a lot going on there, but that is such a great song. It's so emotionally hitting, right? It carves at you, right? But the reason why, because the cluster and the sus chords are used. It's nothing more than that. We broke this down. It's very scientific how this stuff all works. And again, you should be playing through just these melodies with your hand, because through time and through repetition, all of a sudden ideas start coming faster, right? Like you saw how I improvised there, and I was just messing around, right? So with that being said, let's get into our third example now. I'm going deep. I know this video may be long, but I want you guys to get everything going on here. And this is from the song Take You Down. So this is a very beautiful introduction. Again, same chord progression. So we have our first part of the melody. Now, where does this come from? The A minor cluster chord, the first 3 notes, right? And then, this is the 6-1-7 melody starter. 6-1-7, right? Let's combine this one with another one. So I'm just merging, I'm just looking at my notes here. I'm merging the song all together in this one together, right? That's what composition is, guys. It's merging different ideas together. So, all right, let's play the F chord now. So the F part of this melody, it goes F, C, C. So all we're doing is playing a perfect fifth. We're just playing a power octave chord. And then we play our C chord. And what is this? A C cluster chord. These are the 3 notes. And then what ILLENIUM does is he plays the D, and then he actually resolves this playing a G chord. Because if we think about a C major chord or a C sus 2 chord, it's called the sus for a reason. It's creating suspense. It needs to resolve, and it resolves when you play the G chord, because the D is part of the G chord, the G major chord. So let me play this one more time. Right, so there you have it. Those are 3 examples from ILLENIUM. We've broken down his music. We've broken down these arpeggiations, how he's deriving these different melodies, what numerical system the melodies are being used. So if you go and sit on your piano, you can be like, all right, 1-7, what was one of them? 1-7-3. And you can just mess around a little bit, right? Because that's where these ideas, these creative inspirations come from. They come from studying the music of others like we're doing here. So this hopefully provided a lot of value with you. You now can go mess around playing these different melodies, mess around playing these different chords, seeing what ILLENIUM's doing, and creating your own inspiration deriving from one of the greatest songwriters right now in dance music. ILLENIUM, he's doing a fantastic job. Look at how he's selling out Madison Square Garden and doing very well. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe down below, hit the notifications bell, comment down below piano mastery, and you could work with me one-on-one for free piano lesson, no strings attached, and I'm able to answer any other questions you may have. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.